Hi, I'm Donna Schimmel. I'm a partner in the Disruptive Element. We're a leadership performance company, and we like to play in the intersection between humanity and business. Today's effort is called Brains in Business, and today we're going to focus on something just a little different: your future self. Turns out that researchers are discovering we should actually be thinking more about our future self, who we will actually be in the future. It helps us be healthier, it helps us be happier, it contributes to our financial security, and it improves business outcomes. So in today's environment, we have what I would refer to almost as an urgency addiction. We're faced with really quick decision making, moment after moment, and it can be pretty easy to feel like I just don't have time to look at longer term thinking. I really have to be in the moment and I have to make a decision right now. I sometimes feel like I don't even know what to do next or where to go or how to even get clarity about that. And this idea of future self-thinking may be a way to access that. So what is this idea of future self-thinking? What the researchers are noticing is that if you think of your future self as something distinct from and apart from your current self, then the likelihood of you actually achieving that future self outcome isn't very good. People who are able to make a connection with their future self and see the consequences of their current actions impacting the achievement of that future self vision are more responsible, they're happier, and they're likely to get better business outcomes. And that's referred to as future self continuity. So the question is, how do I create a connection with my future self? So I have to confess that, this whole future self thing for me is a little fluffy. And so the tips may be a little fluffy, but it's worth a try, right? The researchers are telling us this helps us to be better at really achieving the future self that we want to be true. So the first tip is to try to write yourself, this is very low tech, write yourself a letter 20 years from now acknowledging and defining what it is you want to be true, and make it as detailed as you can possibly get it. So the idea of letter writing is to create this sense of connection with your future self. The brain research also shows, like, for example, you've seen these on Facebook and other things, aged avatars. If we can actually make and see a connection with our future self, we're going to have a more likely achievement of that outcome. The second tip is actually somewhat similar, but a little bit different, which is sit down and really evaluate, as though you were almost doing a performance appraisal, what kind of leader will you have become? And what will have been your defining characteristics? What will be true of you as a leader at that point? And again, what we're trying to do is create a connection between who you are today and who you are trying to become in the future in a way that's visceral and real and vivid. So tip 1 was about writing yourself a letter. Tip 2 was about a performance appraisal where you're actually describing yourself as a leader. Those were really in writing. This third one is the idea of having a conversation with yourself 20 years from now. What would you be proud of? What kind of conversation would you be having? What kind of questions would you be asking? What kinds of things would you be saying? What we focus on is what we work towards. And so getting a clear vision of your future self is the mechanism by which we can achieve future self continuity. And that long-term thinking equips us as human beings and as leaders.